That is a very interesting question, and I'll give you a history of the law in California as it pertains to custody. Back in the good old days, during the 60s, there was something called the tender years doctrine, where courts would generally award custody primarily to mom, because in those days, mom stayed at home, took care of the kids, dad worked. And, there was something that we referred to as the Disneyland dad, meaning the dad that would get the kids on the weekend wouldn't have the parental responsibilities that the mom had during the week. And that was the sort of the standard division of responsibility based upon your gender. So then what happened was the law changed in 1973, and the Family Law Act came into being in 1973. And when I first started practicing in the early 80s, the pendulum swung in the other direction. So in the 80s, for a very short period of time, there was a preference in California for joint physical custody, which means that the court presumes that the parent should share custody of the children. Then what happened was the legislature realized and the courts realized that's not fair, because you could have a situation where one parent is not as good as a parent as the other parent, or circumstances would dictate a different arrangement. So then the legislature changed and said, we are going to base custody and the allocation of timeshare based upon what's in the best interest of a child. So then the court changed the law and said, one of the factors that we need to look at in determining a child's best interest is that a child should have frequent and continuing contact with both parents, and there's exceptions to that, such as substance abuse, domestic violence, those kinds of things. However, I think generally in California, the courts want to see the involvement of both parents, because I think that the psychological research has shown us that it's important for children to have both parents in their lives. Does it have to be substantially equal? Not necessarily. And the court will look at all the numerous factors that affect best interest when deciding how to award custody.